to sign a contract with our company, between our company and yet another production company, and before I could realize what was going on with me, I went mad again. And I began to do things around the house. I broke televisions,
audit. Yeah, my people, this life not balance. No say, we dey talk every day, say this life not balance, not balance. When I hear what they happen, true the life not balance. When I see what our star, our Nnollywood actress, when I see what they come out, man, you when you use the mouth talk, what happened to right now? I remember one certain time when this video come outside, some people say not true, some people say not lie, so nobody know the true story. So I did get boss start now. Say make you use the mouth to tell people what really happen. But what I don't understand for them, that one say that they manipulate her. So guys, when I use una ear to listen to what she they talk. When I listen, make a show now. Don't be me talking. When I not say na me talking, when I open una ear, when I take watch. So guys, regardez là-bas.
Suspicion after another, on false accusation after another. I survived the writ, but I had yet another maniac episode in 2020 here in Delta State, Asaba. I was on the laptop writing script after script. Writing is my hobby. My husband was on his way to Lagos to sign a contract with our company, between our company and yet another production company, and before I could realize what was going on with me, I went mad again. And I began to do things around the house. I broke televisions, chandelier lights, I burnt all my clothes and my children's clothes. Just like I did in Nnollywood, I reduced everything that we owned to trash. And no, it didn't take one day. It was 3 to 4 days intense. On the 4th day, I didn't eat at all. I was only drinking water. I felt I had superpowers. I felt I was receiving a message from the divine. Or I felt like somebody was manipulating me, because there was 2 entities all of a sudden. There was me watching me that couldn't stop that me in action. They had to bound me hands and legs to the hospital. And then I was still, just like in the movies. It was now at the hospital, American hospital here in Asaba, that Dr. Isioma Okoba, alongside a psychiatrist, Dr. Nebe, diagnosed me of bipolar disorder. I had heard that name in the movie, but because I'm an actor, that name seemed fictitious. It felt like a name that they had to come up with to buttress a character or characterization. I didn't take that news pleasantly, because it was not a pleasant news. Because what do you mean? Do you know who I am?
Cha-cha.
I am way too beautiful, way too talented, way too brilliant to have what they call in my area a little bit of and resumed work. The stress of the work began to jam my brain again. I had yet another episode. Just like in 2020, I had another episode in 2021. I had that episode in 2020. Every year there's always episodes. Hypomanic and manic. This particular episode, I burnt all our wedding photos, all our vital business documents, all our clothes. We had no clothes again. It's what I do. I did that. The last manic that I eventually wandered off. On the streets, many are raving mad, naked. But there are people who are not naked yet, but they are. This particular manic, between April, May, June, July, of course, I burnt clothes, destroyed things, but I wandered off. 4 a.m. in the morning, my family were asleep, and I wore my clothes. I sneaked out of the house. Immediately I crossed the gate, I take off. I was running. Nobody was pushing me, but I felt like somebody's trying to kill me. Hallucinations, delusions. Because I love my husband and my 4 children at home, including a 1-year-old. But then I suddenly remembered home, and I felt like, okay, the reason I ran is because this man here, I was convinced in my head that he wanted to use me to do rituals. The nature of my work doesn't support the sickness that I have. I make pretense for a living. People pay me to be pretending to be who I am not. And I've done it for over a decade plus. So I'm a guru at it. But all that pretense began to backfire on me because I began to lose myself in the midst of it all. Characters that I do not recognize were now jumping out of me. I'd come on social media and write nonsense. No, but the expensive treasure that I still have, is my husband and my children. But chose bipolar to make a mess of my most treasured possessions. If you're bipolar, when you're having an episode, your favorite things, your favorite people become your worst enemies, your worst things. It's two poles. It shifts from this pole to that pole, and it will stay there for a long time. Just allow me to come back. I'll be taking my medicine. I promise. And then he said to me, that's just the point I wanted you to get. Because what is happening to you has happened to many people. It's happening to many people. So you don't let it ruin you. To me, the moment I realized that bipolar makes me unstable in my moods and in my dealings with people, I began to make conscious efforts to be a better person. One suspicion after another, one false accusation after another. I survived the wreath, but I had yet another maniac episode in 2020 here in Delta State, Asaba. I was on the laptop writing script after script. Writing is my hobby. My husband was on his way to Lagos to sign a contract with our company, between our company and yet another production company. And before I could realize what was going on with me, I went mad again. And I began to do things around the house. I broke televisions, chandelier lights. I burnt all my clothes and my children's clothes. Just like I did in Nnollywood, I reduced everything that we owned to trash. And no, it didn't take one day. It was 3 to 4 days intense. On the 4th day, I didn't eat at all. I was only drinking water. I felt I had superpowers. I felt I was receiving a message from the divine. Or I felt like somebody was manipulating me, because there was 2 entities all of a sudden. There was me watching every of our belongings, clothes, shoes, bags, the children's toys. I vandalized the hotel properties. The suite in the parlor area had 3 large cushions. I ripped it all apart using a tiny knife. It was nothing but madness. That was contained in just that. What I needed was a trip to the hospital. But I didn't go to the hospital because my husband and I, who is seated here with me, supporting me. Can you please rise? We attributed it to demonic, voodoo, marine spirits, somebody not somewhere. Now, we kept saying, oh, it's Nnollywood. You know, you can get really envious in that industry. Oh, it's my father and my mother. They never supported this marriage. Oh, I think it's your family. I think it's you, my husband. I think it's you. Because since I married you, my life just started going haywire. It was always...
So, guys, another here, another listing. Waiting, we see be that one. Guys, if not the first day when you come across my video, be this one. Share. Follow my page, and I'm here to give you more. If you come across this page, you no watch, you no share, you no like, you no comment, I'm gonna say you be witch.